And good morning. It is Tuesday, December the 23rd. We are really close to Christmas now, aren't we? One day left for those shopping pleasures that you've got to get out. And, well, it's crowded out there. Have y'all seen that? Any store you go to, there's a mile-long line. There is. Be careful out there. We've got all your headlines that are coming up this morning for the morning show at 7. We'll tell you what has happened over the last 24 hours, what we expect to happen today, all of that good stuff. Nice weather this morning, 51 right now as you're waking up. And get out your short sleeve Hawaiian shirts. 76 is what the thermometer will read later this afternoon. We'll be right back as we'll give you all the details of what's going on nationwide, what's shaping America this morning. Let's go to Collinsville first.
Today we continue the fourth week of the Advent season with our focus on love. And as we focus on love being demonstrated, what better time to do it than the Christmas season, right? And what better scripture to dive into than John 3:16. Here's what it says. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. You know, in the Christmas story, in the gospel, we see God act. We see God move. Left on our own, man, we're helpless. But God jumps into our story by sending Jesus 2,000 years ago as a baby and as God in the flesh. You know, all that in one. And that baby wouldn't just stay a baby, right? But he would grow up. And then when the time was right, he would start his earthly ministry. And through this, he proclaimed God's truth. And then he eventually died on the cross as the ultimate sacrifice for our sin. But he didn't stay there either, right? He would arise from the grave. And I just want to repeat John 3:16 to emphasize really the back end of that verse. It says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Right? Whoever believes in him. That's a call to anyone that would call upon the name of the Lord. We know that the Bible says that whoever would call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. And so through his death and resurrection of his Son, I just want to give you hope this Christmas season. It's not in gifts. It's not in good food, though we love it. It's ultimately all in Jesus. And not just the fact that he came, but that he died and rose again. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Good morning. We hope you're all doing well and got a smile on your face. If you're still rubbing your eyes, grab that cup of coffee, or maybe it's a Coca-Cola that starts your day. Whichever way, grab that and get ready as we begin this adventure together. 51 now, high of 76 later today. Dress appropriately, a little small jacket early, and then you'll probably need to shed that later on. I don't know much about this. I'm not a scientist, and I haven't studied deeply into it, but I think this is a great invention. Airplanes. What if they had a safety autoland? Well, it was used. Colorado, as an airplane ran into trouble, and the auto landing was used for the first time. It landed safely. So that's a step into the future, is it not? What are they going to do in movies, Odie, when they call the tower and they have to talk them into landing?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to mess up some movies. But that is good. You never know when something could happen to a pilot. Think about that, being on a plane, the pilot passes out, what do? You've never flown a plane. This could be one of the best inventions that they've ever come up with. Hope it works well there. Grab your $3, $2, whatever you want to spend extra. It's still climbing. The Powerball, which will be drawn for on Christmas Eve, is at $1.7 billion. I don't even think we need to look up what the cash payout would be because, well, it wouldn't matter. You'd have a lot of money. That is a ton of money. $1.7 billion, y'all. That drawing is coming up on Christmas Eve, so if you plan on playing, make sure to get yours today. I think it's like at 7 o'clock tomorrow night they quit selling tickets, and then the drawing is like at 8. So gives you a little time to get you a ticket in case you wanted to do that. Tragedy. So close to Christmas, we go to California. I know there's a lot of people that surf and go out in the ocean. This did not end well. They have called off a search for a swimmer that they think that a shark attack may have been involved in. Again, that's bad there. Our hearts go out to them. The guy that is a woman that is missing, she's 55. Her name is Erica Fox. Pebble Beach is where all that happened. It's not going to end well either way. We pick on this guy a lot. You can't help it. But we never mean any harm to anybody, as we wish Barry Manilow the best of luck with this. He has announced that he has lung cancer, and he is still touring at 84. Been healthy so far, but he has come clean of saying that he's been diagnosed with lung cancer. We wish Barry the best with that. What was it? I write the songs. And he's done so many commercials that he's responsible for, jingles and stuff, that you're just not aware of. Talented. I'm not a video game player, and I know there's probably just cahoodles of you out there that do, that understand it. I'm just not coordinated. I never was good at it. And I know this is a big video game, the Call of Duty. You know, familiar with that? You've heard of it, I'm sure, by now. The guy that invented that has died in a car crash. He and another person were driving along and lost control of the car somehow and hit an embankment. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. I think he was 55, multi-millionaire from this deal of what he invented. Condolences to his family. That happened this week as well. We find out a little bit more about Jim Beam. You remember us talking about that yesterday morning, that they're going to be shutting down one of their plants. They've got 3 that do the whiskey. And as we learned out about this, one of the 3 would shut down, their main one. And they're blaming tariffs on this, but they plan on shutting it down for a year. Now, I didn't know how long whiskey was aged for, but I do know a little bit more now. Jim Beam has to sit for 4 years before it can be sold. Aged whiskey. Actually, I thought it was a lot longer than that, but 4 years is the number that they put on that. Now, I see more problems coming with this, and I'm sure that you will too. Now, we've seen the scams, and this is not necessarily a scam, but it's bad. Just in Mississippi, we had, that scam to where they get children involved in these scams to where they'll send a nude pic. We had one in Mississippi that took his own life over it. We've got a little bit worse problem than that now. As we look at boys will be boys, I guess is the way to put this. AI-generated photos were done of a juvenile girl at a school. This was in Louisiana. They generated a photo of her in the school. All the kids thought it was real. Well, she done what she should. She punched the boy in the eye, I think, that did it. She was expelled from school. They have now reversed that. What will become of this? AI, again, is probably one of the best inventions that we've ever done. But also with it comes responsibility to where it can be used in the wrong ways. And this is an example of how it can be used in the wrong way and ruin someone's life. What will be done to the boys that done it, who knows? She took care of the problem herself. I'm sure that this is going to get nasty before it all is over. How do you stop this? I don't know. I don't know enough about it to understand how it can be monitored, let me say it that way, as to what you can do with it. But that is in the news this morning. Do you remember the high school football coach that we've talked about that was accused of sexual allegations and he walked out and we haven't heard from him since? They're pretty much going to write this off as he is deceased at this point. He had a lot of accusations and he left with a firearm from his home and hadn't been heard of. That was in Virginia where that took place November the 20th. We're now a month and 2 days into this. Authorities pretty much believe that he is no longer with us. No body, no nothing has been found at this point. And it is the season to give, is it not? Well, DHS is doing just that. They're giving triple rewards for illegals who want to self-deport by Christmas. You'll receive $3,000 now, a free flight home, and wipe your immigration record clean. All you got to do is leave. That's the offer that is on the table at this. I really didn't know that they offered things quite like that. I guess you could call that more or less a bounty to a degree. Oh, Jimmy Slate, you're getting ready to have a birthday, I see there. Well, happy birthday there. Get yours in. Odie's making a list, and he's checking it twice over to my right there. We'll have a list of birthdays coming up at the top of the hour. We get into, as we mentioned, ICE there. We'll go to New Hampshire is where this happened, if I'm not mistaken here. An illegal alien hit a law enforcement car. They were trying to make an arrest. It was a big chase there. A law enforcement agent pulled his revolver. It was fired twice. No one was hit with this. They were shooting at the tires on the car, from what I understand there. He's been placed in handcuffs and is going to be headed off. This happened in Minnesota, is where it did happen there. He was from Cuba. He tried to ram officers, a small car chase, and then he was eventually taken into custody. You see this more and more. Now, I expected something different, but when you go back and you read what state it's from, you realize that. Anytime that you threaten a law enforcement agency or agent, it's usually, you get the most in normal courts of law. ICE was in Southern California making an arrest. They were there. A tow truck driver backs up, hooks to the ICE agent's vehicle, and tows it. Now, you know that's wrong. They're not going to charge him at all. The judge has dropped the case. Ain't that something? This is the headline as we look at this. Nationwide, this is not local or anything. It's FedEx. They win a $2.2 billion federal contract. That's major, to deliver packages, and I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, for the U.S. Post Office. Then they hired hundreds of H-1B workers while laying off Americans. Again, that's on the national level there, not anything local at all. In Birmingham, Alabama, one of the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement has been arrested for domestic violence assault. That was Birmingham, Alabama, where that happened there. And they're calling 2025 the year of the naked dress. No, I'm not going to show it. You'll have to Google it. But after looking at this, they're right. The Sweeney girl. They're wearing dresses that you absolutely can see completely through. And it's, I'd only seen the Sweeney thing. It was on People magazine. It was on every newscast you could see. But clearly, there was tons and tons and more of this. Oh, do you see any of that locally, or is it just national? No, nothing locally. Spotted at the courthouse. But nationwide, why do people do that? And it makes you go, did your mama not teach you any better?
No.
And apparently not. That's like, why buy the cow if you... I'll leave that alone. Here's a move that I didn't see coming. Maybe you football fans knew this. I didn't. I don't watch any football. But the Kansas City Chiefs, they're getting ready to pack up. They're leaving Missouri, moving to Kansas. They're going to build a new stadium there. Well, we learn something new every day, don't we? Sound like the taxpayers are getting ready to have to build a new stadium. Yeah, and maybe they'll make it back in tax revenue. Let's hope so. Stadiums, there is no telling what a new football stadium costs these days, is it? I'm not real sure. Southwest Florida, this is weird to say the least. Two guys went fishing Friday. They never returned home. As they got into getting the Coast Guard involved in Southwest Florida, they would eventually find the boat. No one was on it. The two occupants are missing. One's 57, one's 33. They went out fishing together. Have no idea where they are. What happened? Did somebody go overboard? The other try to help? That could happen very easily. Pollsters, they've got to stay in business. But, one part of me leans toward this could be true, because I haven't seen Congress do anything, and it's led by Republicans. They claim that they're going to do a lot, but when they get there, they sit on their hands. Don't come up with anything that could replace, your insurance and fix that. Pollsters are saying that it's going to be ugly in the midterms for Republicans due to things like this, of not following through what they promised. The alternative does not look good. I've seen some of the policies and what people believe now. We'll look at New York. What could be gotten in office just because people are mad at others? I don't know. But
the best way to fix health care is to mandate Congress gets the same health care as the American.
oh yeah, it would be fixed if they got the same health care we do. They get free lifetime insurance, and it's the best of the best. But they're not going to do that, and they'll never have term limits either. They're not going to vote themselves out of a job that they can make a lot of money at. I didn't know that the vice president said dirty words. He done said one, y'all. Somebody said something ugly about his wife, and he said, well, you can eat blank. We'll leave it at blank. He didn't appreciate you talking about his wife that way. And this deals with that divorce thing that was going on there. They had an argument or something, the best I understand, but he just kind of laid it on out there. We'll keep going as we do this. Turning Point USA is putting all their cookies behind JD as we talk about him as they get ready for the next election. They're going to be pushing for him to win the next president. They'll endorse him. They'll get behind him 100%. Good luck to all that. You don't hear many standoffs. Yeah, well, I guess the only TV show that ever dealt with this would have been the Dukes of Hazzard. Do you remember when Bo and Luke got in trouble and they couldn't have firearms and they had to use bow and arrows? They had a standoff over this as a neighbor wounded his neighbor there with a crossbow. They surrounded the house. It was a standoff. They got him into custody there in New Jersey. Now, don't get me wrong. Mine's broke, but those things they're fast nowadays, crossbows. They travel at some speed. But one person was wounded in that. Let's see here. I don't know this guy. I've never watched the movie The Wire. Did anybody ever watch that? This guy was young, 46. James Ranson has passed away. He was the star of The Wire. We send condolences this Christmas to his wife who has left. Sad, sad, sad. We have a Mexican Navy plane that has crashed. 5 people are deceased and 1 is missing near Galveston. We certainly hate that also there. See, what else is happening this morning? Preachers are held to such a higher account, or at least they are in my book. And I think most people agree with me on that. If you're a deacon in a church, you've got to act a little bit better than the rest of us sinners that sit midways in the church. And the preacher is the kind of like the grand poobah of the church. He's got to really act right. Even though a preacher is married, they sometimes end up in divorce, and this is where this all went. But a South Carolina pastor is accused of cyber stalking his wife as they were getting a divorce. It drove her to the brink of suicide. My, oh my. And when the cyber stalking, it doesn't sound that bad, but as you get deeper into this story, he had some pictures of her that, why would a preacher do that? He's fell off the path that he's supposed to be on.
He dropped his cloth.
He did. He dropped the cloth. A Russian general has been taken out in Moscow. Someone placed something under his car. Didn't turn out well for him. My, oh my. Trump has named the Louisiana governor as the Greenland Special Envoy. A lot of people, I thought this guy's pretty good. It's some backlash, people all upset over it. He's a pretty good old boy, I believe. He's straightforward, conservative. We'll see. Now, how many times, and especially you go to Little League baseball games, you've seen coaches throw a fit. They'll throw their hat down, stomp it, and go around in a circle and say ugly words they shouldn't. Had a little issue at this one as the Georgetown basketball coach has been suspended. He got so mad he had a water bottle in his hand, was full, chunked it into the crowd, hit somebody upside the head. He's out of there. And I know what you're thinking, like I am. It's just a game. But I have seen, even on a local level, people that you know real well when it comes to coaching just become blithering. What's that word I'm thinking? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Stomp, say, just calm down. It's all going to be okay.
You want to win.
You can't act that way.
You know.
Indonesia, 16 people were killed on a bus crash. Sad, sad, sad. We'll do your weather forecast next. Let's a look at what's happening around the U.S. of A. this morning that's shaping your world and a few places across the pond that, well, made the news headlines. We'll be right back as we'll check your forecast next.
Hey, Ben, did you approve this?
What? Tax credit match, double your savings. Who did this? Where did this come from?
Ben, I really love the new promo.
Come with me. Hey. Who do you think you are? Oh, Annie, it's you. Where did this all go out to?
Our whole service area.
As the seasons change, so do your clothes. And Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve. Also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need to keep you dry in those wet conditions. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Welcome back. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
As we look at those record highs, y'all remember 1990, some 35 years ago, it was 78 today. Back in 89, a low of 8 degrees today. As we look at what's going on for the forecast for today, we'll see 76 on this. Look at this, nice weather. Now, northern Mississippi there at the state line could see a shower or two. We'll see 75 at Columbus Air Force Base and see that all the way through Louisville. About 70 there around South Haven as you get into the Tunica area, and around Vicksburg about the same as Meridian. Gulfport, not much difference in between there and Meridian, 70. 5-degree drop toward the coast there at Gulfport. What's happening tonight? Low of 52 as we get ready for tomorrow. And we'll get into that Christmas Eve forecast in just a second there. 53 tonight in Philadelphia, and we'll see that travel through Louisville. Even up at South Haven, 61. We'll see 56 in Vicksburg tonight, and Gulfport comes in at a nice 58. Now, today's high in Bama looks like 75 in Demopolis, 71 in Birmingham. We'll see 70 over at Auburn. Not bad weather at all. Nothing to complain about at all. As we look at the forecast, not quite as hot what lies out to our west, but we're right in the middle of a heat wave as we look at our 7-day forecast. Here we are at 76 today. Christmas Eve comes in at 75. We'll get down to 53 as Rudolph makes his way and navigates through the night. And Christmas morning, we'll wake up to find it 76 by afternoon. Low of 55 Christmas night. As we come across the rest of the week, the weekend looks to be great, 75, 77. Do y'all hear this? In December, almost 80. That's going to be on Saturday. Now, we got a chance of a shower on Sunday at a 40% chance. As we move in, what's happening for New Year's Eve looks great, but cooler, high of 53, low of 35 that night. It'll be perfect weather there for your New Year's Eve celebrations. New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026, we'll see 55, sunny. No chances really much, a 10% chance of rain there. But we're going to be into the 40s there. Now look at the 30th there. We're going to be at 80 on Saturday, and then by Tuesday, a high of only 44. Yes, the doctor's office will be filled, will it not? Change of weather is coming there. Now, as we look at our fishing forecast, brought to you by our friends at Parker Wholesale, major times to fish today will be this afternoon between 2 and 4. You've got a minor time this morning from 8:40 to 10:40. Sunrise happening at 6:43. As we get into our deer hunting calendar, let's go back and take a look at this. Brought to you by Wimberley Taxidermy. Average day of hunting today, the wind's going to be south-southwest 5 to 10. As we get into major times of fishing, 1:58 to 3:58. Follows close to the fishing forecast today as we get into the minor times from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock is your better times this morning to deer hunt. Sunrise 6:43. Sunset is starting to climb back up the ladder. We're at 4:54 for the sunset. Let's go back and take a look at live radar as we pull this up this morning. We do have some fog on the Gulf Coast as we pull up Doc's Toyota radar. All around Hattiesburg, we're starting to see some pretty thick fog there west of Laurel. Look at this. Collins, Summerall, y'all got it all there. Macomb is really thick this morning. All the way down south into Louisiana around Bogalusa, we've got fog there as well. So if you're traveling any of this Highway 98 around Brookhaven, you'll probably bump into a little bit. We do have a little bit of forest to our west there. Forest, there's some fog showing up on I-20 in between Forest and Morton. Be careful in those areas, and you never know, we can make our way here. Bay Springs, y'all pay attention, as well as Taylorsville. Fog advisories down across Louisiana into Beaumont, Texas. Any snow? We got a shower up here around Tunica right now. We've got showers around Norfolk this morning, and as you get into the snow, Pittsburgh, these areas around New York, they're seeing it. If you're up in there around Maryland today, as we glance across this, Ohio looks good. Nothing big going on. Cold weather as we move back across here. And we do see some rain back here around Boise, Idaho. A little bit of snow popping up right along in here. Yeah. Idaho, where it's definitely cold this morning. 6:57 as we get ready to kick off the morning show. How does everybody feel? We've got our coffee ready. Santa Odie's over there. He's ready to go. Join us, won't you? It's going to be a lot of fun this morning. We'll tell you all that went on last night in the evening hours here at the Scotty Ray Report. Join us live at 7 for the Scotty Ray Report.